All right. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, Great Millstone, who rule well and who taught me this truth. And shalom to you, sincere Akim, out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. And shalom to the few sincere Akwath that are out there listening and learning as well. With that being said, I'm going to jump straight into this video. I don't want to Ratazah to be edifying. As usual, I'm going to go into Rakah Kwadash. And it's going to be a quick one. I saw this in my news feed. And, man, it's truly beautiful, beautiful times that we're living in. Salakia, let this madness go by. Salakia, truly beautiful times that we're living in for the hopeful elect. Horrific times for the rest of you. You 2/3 of Yasharallah that refuse to repent, and the rest of you heathens. All right? Beautiful times, your paw times. So this lesson is going to be centered around the news that's been circulating around this latest G20 summit. As you can see from India today, it says G20 summit 2023. Joe Biden disappointed over how they say? I think it's Xi Jinping. I think that's how they say his name. The president or whatever, the leader of China. I think it's Xi Jinping's absence. This you can see the thumbnail. It says disappointed as Xi skips G20 meeting. Right, and I was watching this video here. It's real short, and they were going into it on Bloomberg television, and I guess they're already saying that he was already saying that he wasn't going to come. All right, let me see. It says Xi planning to skip G20 summit as China-India tensions mount. Let's read a little bit of this. It says Chinese President Xi Jinping is said to be skipping, which he did, the group of 20 summit in New Delhi next week. A snub that's likely to aggravate strains with India, because there's a lot of tension at the border of China and India. Basically, like we keep telling you that there's basically we're at the brink of World War III. The third woe is quickly approaching. All right, and there's a line being drawn in the sand, just like during the time of World War I, World War II. There's a balance of powers, and it's really the West versus the East. Okay, the one that's leading the West, the charge of the West is America, Babylon the Great, that whore that rides the beast, right? And we know the beast is NATO and the EU, and versus the East, which is going to be led by Gog and Magog, Russia, okay, and their allies, China, North Korea, so on and so forth, okay? And there's a line being drawn in the sand. The West versus the East, okay? NATO and the EU versus the BRICS nations, okay? This third woe is quickly approaching, and things are escalating. Tensions are at an all-time high, all right? So again, it's Chinese President Xi Jinping is said to be skipping the group of 20 summit in New Delhi next week. We know right now, for the time being, India is an ally of the whore, America, NATO and the EU. Okay, so it says meanwhile, China obviously is doing a lot of trade deals with Russia, and they're doing a lot with the BRICS nations. They're part of that BRICS alliance, doing a lot of trade deals, a lot of joint military drills. Again, that line is being drawn in the sand. Meanwhile, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen will make her fourth visit to India in less than a year to join the summit to discuss global economic vulnerabilities, because the petrodollar is being attacked. We in dire times, man. The monetary system is being, fucking dismantled, man. The West, they're trying to set up their CBDC, and a lot of these nations, Salakia, a lot of these nations are moving towards the BRICS side of things, man. The BRICS alliance, they want to use the BRICS currency, you know. So yeah, this thing is getting real, and we know ultimately It's escalating because they're ready to roll out this digital system, this global reset. They're ready to roll out this new way of governing, of buying and selling, which is going to be spearheaded by the Charagma, and everybody's jockeying for power. You know, you know. So ultimately, we know they're gonna lock horns, man. The eagle and the bear. You know. So it says that's pretty much the point. So that was beautiful to see this. He snubbed him. Creepy Joe's offended. You know, let's look up on Wikipedia real quick what the G20 is. It says the G20, or the Group of 20, is an intergovernmental forum comprising 19 countries and the European Union. So it's about it's a meeting for the EU, which I done told you that's part of the beast. EU is the monetary arm of the beast. The military arm would be NATO. Okay, they put sanctions on you first, and they attack you first, your nation, your country, through EU. You know, and if that don't work, they actually go to war with you through NATO. All right, and America's that whore that's riding the beast in the West. So it works to address major issues related to global economy. Okay, oil deals and so on and so forth. You see trade deals. So it says such as international financial stability, and what's happening is America's losing that hegemony. Nobody, they're dumping that petrodollar, the dollar, like like hotcakes. And these nations, a lot of these nations are let's prime example, Saudi Arabia. They clicking up with Russia and China, the BRICS. It says it works to address major issues related to global economy, such as international financial stability, climate change mitigation, and substantial and sustainable development. Salakia. Right? So that's pretty much the point. It's interesting. It says all leaders at the G20 G20 summit in Rome, Italy. Funny, because we always talk about how we're living in nothing more than the rebirth of the Roman Empire. You know. So and I'm gonna read two scriptures that came to mind, but we know right now China is not really an ally of America, even though they do a lot of deals and stuff that go back to World War II. You know, China gets rich off of America, but they're not really allies. You know, even though they do a lot of business together. There's a lot of tension between America and China. You know, and like I said, this go back to World War II, right? This is real quick. This is about World War II. The principal belligerents were the Axis powers: Germany, Italy, and Japan. So those are allegedly the bad guys, right? In World War II, Germany, Italy, and Japan. And the Allies, the so-called good guys: France, Great Britain, and the United States. It says France, Great Britain, United States, the Soviet Union, and to a lesser extent China. Okay, because remember, in World War II you had Japan bomb Pearl Harbor, and that's what brought America into the war. America came into the war at the very end, and we all know what happened. History's written, and it's already written. Once America stepped in and dropped them bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan, that's what stopped the war. But Japan was trying to move in on China. That's what the big thing was. Japan, just like Germany was trying to the Nazis with Hitler, they were trying to expand Germany, that they were taking over France and shit. They moved into France, and Germany was expanding all the way up to they butted up damn near to Russia, Soviet Union, and Japan was doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So but I say all that to say like I said, it was China is a lesser ally of America, because they had a joint. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So they had a joint interest in stopping Japan. Okay, attacking Japan. They clicked up to bang on Japan. But fast forward to 2023, we know they're not really allies. China's been building up those man-made islands in the Pacific Islands, which are pretty much military bases, so that they can do what? Attack America on the West Coast. You know, you see, and we know China is really an ally of Russia. The Brit is part of that BRICS ally. So and now you see, fast forward, that's why they got snubbed. You see, you see, that's why they snubbed Creepy Joe, Sleepy Joe. Because we at the time of war. We're not in the time of peace no more. We at the time of war, baby. So let me read real quick. I ain't gonna make it long. I was gonna read all this, but we know it. We read it all the time. This is Obadiah, the shortest book in the Bible, only one chapter long. Obadiah. I start at 6. The main point is in 7. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? That's the main point, verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in him. Prime example, China. I done broke down to you that they were a lesser ally. China does a lot of trade deals with America. Matter of fact, they say allegedly China owns a lot of land in America. Okay, China gets rich off of selling their goods to America, the number one consumer nation. But at the end of the day, they're not your friends, man. They gonna destroy you. That's why it says all the men of thy confederacy, even India, you see Saudi Arabia turned on you. All your allies ultimately are going to turn upon you. Per Revelation, they're going to hate the whore and burn her with fire. So it says and you see beautiful times that we're living in. All the prophecies are being fulfilled. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. Yeah, you thought they were your friends, but they were just your friend for the moment. Now they got the great equalizer. Now they got the strength to attack your ass back, to fight back. How is the hammer of the earth broken asunder? The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread, they took your money and have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. That's the point. That's the point. You see it. China gave you that. That's a big middle finger, man. Fuck your G20 summit meeting. We ain't even showing up. We ain't coming to the table no more. You know what it is. You know where where our allegiance lies. Let the chips fall where they may, and that's what times we're coming into. We're in a time of war, baby. So this is Joel 3. The main point is in 9, but I'll start at 6, and I'll close out here. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold to the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Yeah, because what does it say? Judah and Israel were oppressed together, right? And where were we oppressed together? Right here in the Americas, in the land of the North, and it's a recompense for that you're going to read. That's ultimately why this third world war is going to take place, for the controversy of Zion. Okay, you see, he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. All these heathens are just a means to an end, just like Gog and Magog. It tells you in Ezekiel 38, I am against thee, O chief prince of Tubal. Going into Gog and Magog. The Lord said he's against them. Because at the end of the day, them Russians are Edomites, man. Another house of Edom. And they're just a means to an end. Moab. The Lord is against Moab also. He's against all these heathens, because they all were confederate in our downfall. They all, as it tells you in Psalms, I think that's 83, they're confederate against thee. All these nations were in cahoots. They don't have the best interests of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai or Yasharallah in their mind. They all want to rule and establish their own order. But Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is coming to disappoint them, all these heathens. Tells you that in Psalms, I think that's Psalms chapter 2. Why do the heathens rage and imagine a vain thing? You know, they ain't got necks. Yasharallah got necks. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua got necks. We got necks. Esau's the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So it says, behold, I will raise them, Shalaka. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them. And the bulk of the bulk of Israel were sold to the Americas. Okay? The bulk of us are in the Americas, Babylon the Great. You know? In the place where it says you are not the children of the Most High, there it shall be said you are the children of the Most High. Right here. You know? Right here they said we were niggers, spicks, skins, you know? You ain't an Israelite. You ain't a son of the Most High. You're African. You're Puerto Rican. You're Haitian. You're Dominican. No, we are the children of Israel, man, the sons of Jacob. Okay, and you fucked up when you put your hands upon us. So it says, behold, I will, and that's what the Lord is doing now. He's raising up the tabernacle of David of old, which is fallen, and sealing up the breaches thereof. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. All this is happening because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is about to pay you back. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off. For the Lord Yahweh hath spoken it. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. It says, proclaim, this is the main point. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. And that's what we do, week in and week out. We're publishing this. We're making it public. We're shaking the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. We're telling these heathens off, and we're telling 2/3 of our own people off. To repent. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, meaning the other nations, these heathens. Prepare war. And you see they're preparing war. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is mustering the host of the battle. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Yeah, they're at your border. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Yeah, put all your time and effort and your resources not into agriculture, into building up your economy, but put all your energy into what? Warfare. Okay? Building up your military artillery, doing joint military exercises, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Build up them islands in the Pacific Islands. China, Moab, go over there in the Pacific Islands, make man-made islands, turn them into military bases, get ready to attack this whore. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Putin, Vladimir Putin, deploy that at Satan 2 for military combat. Get ready, Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. All these so-called weaker nations, third world nations, now they're strong. Why? Because they got the great equalizer. Not to mention, Gog and Magog, Russia, is coming to their defense. That's why they're clicking up and joining the BRICS alliance. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's decision, which is in the Middle East, over there in the Levant, around there, like Saudi Arabia, United Emirates, in that land barren and desolate, For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And that's the point. The second woe is past, the third woe is coming quickly. And you see it. You see it. Tensions are at an all-time high, baby. Oh, Salakia, I wanted to read Obadiah also. In the Slack, I'll close out here. I forgot. I wanted to read this in the some of the other translations, baby. Beautiful times that we're living in. Remember, this is Obadiah 1:7. I read, all the men of thy confederacy, this is in the KJV. I read this already. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So let's read it in the NKJV. All the men, Obadiah 1:7 again, all the men in your confederacy shall force you to the border. The men at peace with you shall deceive you and prevail against you. Those who eat your bread shall lay a trap for you. No one is aware of it. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee. Thy terribleness have deceived thee. You ain't laying it to heart. You know? It's too late now. You know? It says NLT, all your allies, Obadiah 1:7, all your allies will turn against you. They shall hate the whore and burn her with fire. Your mother shall be sore confounded of you. They will help to chase you from your land. Woo! They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you and you won't even know about it. Oh my goodness. You can't tell me this is not sweet in your mouth, man. It's the gospel, the good news. This devil is through. Come down and sit in the dust, O daughter of Babylon. O virgin daughter of Babylon, there is no throne. This place is through. You see the last handful of prophecies playing out in 3D, 4D, live and direct, baby. All right? Hey, man, this place is through, man. This devil is through. And he knows it. That's why he's about to, Revelation 12:12, come down with great wrath, knowing that he have but a short time. He about to just, hey, be the devil that he is. That's why they keep, I saw redacted, everybody talking about it, allegedly new lockdowns are coming. He just about to just, bring out them unrighteous decrees, man. You know? Oh, he about to shut this shit down, collapse the economy. Hey, man, beautiful times that we're living in. So, hey, keep watching, keep praying, keep fasting, putting on as the elect. Occupied till Yahweh Bashim Yahushai comes. Keep fighting, keep pushing. We're close, baby. Shalom. Wa abad babol, kwam yasharala.